Hey, welcome to your Libra horoscopes for the week ending August 5th. We're done with July. Moving into August. No planets in Libra this week. We've been there, done that last week with the moon. So we don't want to repeat of that this week. No planets in there influencing Libra, with the exception of Ceres, who continues her maternal influence in your sign. And while Libra's focus is on self, which is a very difficult thing for Libras to do, Ceres' focus is actually on your inner closet. So that place where we hold all of our trauma, that's where Ceres' very maternal focus is, which is kind of weird when you think about it, but it's not at the same time. In terms of self-care, understanding what you keep in that closet, organizing that closet, cleaning that closet out, getting rid of stuff in that closet is so incredibly important. In fact, no self-care that you do is as important as that. And it won't work very well if you don't spend time cleaning that closet. So I feel that Ceres' influence for you guys this week really is kind of showing that, one, there may be things that come up that are triggering some of those things in that closet, bringing them to the surface, sort of forcing you to have to look at them and deal with them, which is not something that you want to do. At the same time, though, taking the time to understand where these triggers come from is really helpful for you, because it allows you to accept and release. Accepting that it happened and there's not much you can do to change it. In fact, there's nothing you can do to change it. And releasing the control over it, releasing its control over you. My Libra husband said something that was very interesting once, and I could see why so many people justify holding on to this sort of thing. And I'm not going to go into what the situation was, because that would be rude to him. But what he said was that this specific thing that happened when he was a kid, he refused to accept and let it go, because if he let it go, he was afraid of repeating the pattern, which I was like, wow, that's like a huge thing right there, right? He's literally saying, if I let this trauma go, I am going to continue that trauma into the next generation, which is not necessarily what happens. It doesn't mean that you just forget about it and erase it and it goes away. That's not what's happening here. But it was interesting how he spun it in order to hold on to it. And that's actually something that you guys really should be paying attention to. Even though you're ruled by an emotional planet like Venus, you are air signs. You are intellectual signs. And one of the things that intellectual signs do is they run as far as they possibly can away from anything that is emotional for them. They just don't have the time for it. They don't want to deal with it. Stuff it in that closet and just forget about it. And guess what? We don't forget about it. It doesn't stay in the closet forever. It doesn't go away on its own. It continues to sit in there and fester and get bigger and bigger and bigger until one day, when you have no plans of having an emotional release, when you have no plans of anything coming up to trigger you, something just happens. And it triggers you, and you're an emotional mess in public, in front of people, which is not what you wanted to do, right? So the more often you can deal with these small triggers as and when they come, and if you can't deal with it right then, because let's say you're at work or you're in public, you're at the grocery store, want to be triggered in the, totally get that. Put it in the back burner until you get home. Take some time to go into the bathroom, lock the door so you're by yourself, and then take the time to work through the trigger so that you can understand it, so that you can embrace it, you can accept it, and you can let it go. You can put it in the past, not back in that closet where it's going to continue to rule every single decision you make, because that is what our inner trauma does. We make decisions based on how that feels. And sometimes those are not the right decisions for us to be making for ourselves. So therefore, it becomes unsuccessful to hold on to them. And we want to eliminate that for ourselves, right? We want to continue to move forward in our success and in our lives and, our plans and doing what we said we set out to do without all of those stupid little distractions that just keep coming up, right? Because this is life. And guess what? Those stupid little distractions are never going to stop. No, they're never going to stop. You have to learn to work around those distractions, work with those distractions, work on those distractions, because trying to avoid them is a useless waste of time. You're just never going to be able to do it. So that's what I have for you guys this week. I know you're strong and you're brave and you're awesome, and I love you. And I know you're going to make it a great week. I will see you guys next week. Wait, if you love your horoscopes, do click the link below and send me a copy. I would absolutely love it. And now I will see you guys next week. Make it a great week, everybody.